game number 1. And again, Parker will be joining us a little bit later so we can finish off our Three Musketeer trio.
We can, yeah. I can't drink the tea without him here, man.
That's right.
It just doesn't feel right. Team Master's not playing right now.
I can't drink my beverage, though.
You can drink that beverage,
which
yeah.
I'm going to cover up for the moment.
That's a pretty solid beverage. We've been chugging probably way too much caffeine these last few days.
I had a lot of coffee yesterday.
Getting heart palpitations.
I did wake up this morning and like I had a weird twitch in like my arm right here. It was like
the place that you're pointing at.
Yeah, it's like right here. I don't know what that was, but it was freaking me out a little bit. Holy Toledo, look at this. We got a mag into Centaur Warner Rubik, and the PA is already banned, but they're still going to double down on the minus armor strat.
I'm seeing this a lot. The PA getting first banned across all of the regions. I think the games where she had success, they were pretty ridiculous games. Like she was just one-hitting people. Like it was very flashy. So it's a lot of people are seeing those games and thinking that she's very, very strong right now, and just banning her in the first phase.
To me, it almost makes it look like there's a bug going on with like the way that her damage is calculated or something,
yes,
right?
It does seem like it.
Like I don't know what's going on there, but it feels like she's doing way more damage than before.
You just played a game against a PA in a pub. How did it feel to play against her? Did it feel a little buggy? A little too much damage?
Not as much. I went like first real item AC on Offlane Kunkka. It's okay. There's a reason. But so like some of my cores, but it was like still we had like an ogre and a jug, and she was still kind of just blowing us up. So a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know. It's funky.
I think you'd think with how the armor was changed, she would be worse. Just because everybody has the same, unless there's something that wasn't in the patch notes about everybody's armor being reduced. But then I don't see why there would be a different armor calculation if they were to.
I'm wondering if like
do that.
There's counting as like a double hit or something on dagger maybe, or like a double hit on blink strike. You know what I mean?
It might only just be the fact that blink strike now gives you like this bonus attack speed instead of a certain amount of hits. Like it really might just be that. And I know the damage was increased on it, the attack speed on it was increased slightly. Actually a pretty decent amount, but in any case, like maybe it's just the fact that she's going to hit you enough that she's going to get off a few big crits, whereas before she might jump on you, not crit you once, and it feels like the PA is this kind of shitty hero, but now when she jumps on you, she's basically guaranteed to crit you a few times.
Yeah.
And that's going to, one-hit somebody who would otherwise not die, like an Ogre or a Kunkka or a Dragon Knight like we saw in the series yesterday.
That was so nuts still.
And he had like 20-something armor and like 3,000 HP, just melting.
Yeah.
They did end up losing that game, though.
Yeah, that's the thing that's weird about it, is that like there's still ways to beat the hero, because the hero at its core is still like you jump in, you find crits, but now it's like you're getting 2 to 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think it's honestly probably just that. We're actually seeing those crits happen, and when they would happen before, it's like, oh, that was just luck. But now it's not luck because you have enough chances for. I don't want to get into the statistics again.
Of course.
But it's not so much luck when you're hitting somebody like 10 times in a row with 200 something attack speed or more.
I feel like attack speed also is the type of thing that's like it's becoming so much more evident how important it is as like a damage amp source. Because before you would have like flat levels of damage amp. You'd either like lower the armor, or you would get something like Chen pendants or something.
Yep.
Now you have all of these heroes that like I remember I was watching the EU games where it was like they were taking Roche and everybody got hit by the Roche got hit by the pendants, and suddenly like he just was completely obliterated.
Yeah. I remember you were saying like one of the first days that a lot of damage amplification got removed from the game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those, which completely like changes the. I mean, something like that completely changes like the meta of like what heroes are strong.
Right.
Like minus armor becomes stronger. Maybe other forms of damage amplification become stronger. Maybe forms of damage like reduction, like for instance, a lich armor becomes stronger. The whole game just like shifts, like massively. If there's like a change like that where there's just no more damage amplification.
And it's why now we see like all of these. If you don't have one of those big damage dealer heroes, there'll be like a big 10-second fight and nobody dies.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
weird.
that's and the bracers too. That helps out as well. The bracers, the wraith bands. Oh, actually, that's another reason I think that I know we keep going into the PA. But that's the reason we're seeing like anti-mages do pretty well. I saw in the European qualifiers, Miracle basically solo carried a game with anti-mage. Faceless Void is fighting in the early game. Yeah, he didn't even go Battle Fury. It was really sick. Yeah, check it out. I got a YouTube video.
Okay.
It's coming out, man. I just recorded that. But anyway,
that's
it's a plug. Shameless plug. While GoDz isn't here, he can't. Just taking advantage of that. Faceless Void as well. One of these heroes, you pick up a bunch of Wraith Bands, and you wouldn't be able to fight in the early game. Like, you pick up Tread's 3 Wraith Bands, and at that point, Void would need like 5-10 more minutes of farm before he can start contributing. But it feels like a lot of these heroes can just contribute early on into the game when otherwise they wouldn't. I think PA is one of those heroes, Jug as well, where like you get Wraith Bands, all of a sudden you do damage and you farm a lot faster as well.
Ooh.
Jug Mag.
This is spicy.
Yep. Minus armor with the presumably going for the Battle Fury and then the cleave for Magnus too. I think this like Dazzle Magnus Dazzle Magnus is just so strong.
It's funny. Every single patch, it feels like to me, you started off with like a minus armor patch. Like everybody like defaults to that as like a strat because you're like trying to figure out, all right, what's gonna work, and like minus armor almost always works. But in this patch in particular, it feels like it really works. And I want to see, because Vici Gaming are taking a very different approach. They're taking like this team fight oriented thing. You take the Rubik, sort of counter out the RP potentially. Centaur Warrior, big initiation, and then Faceless Void with a Phoenix on top of it. So I want to see if maybe Vici have come up with something that answers this predominant strat that we've been seeing from Royal Never Give Up.
I mean, in either case, we have massive amounts of damage basically in team fights.
The Kunkka, by the way.
Oh, you love that.
I love the Kunkka.
I think it's good. I think it's good. They do need a mid laner. I think mid lane probably still is the best role for it, just because you don't necessarily have to. Like, I think it's fine to play a mid lane hero that's just going to run in, be tanky, and maybe scale a little bit less strongly as he used to, but do a little bit more in the early game. I think it's fine to have your mid do that, especially if you have like a Magnus plus Juggernaut. That's absolutely fine.
I think it also has to do with the fact that it's like player hero comfort. Like, you probably haven't had a chance to try it out a lot in the offlane role. And that might change things around. But they're going to go the Dusa, so more physical damage. Just literally all physical damage.
Man, these Chinese teams are really loving the Medusa. I'm not seeing it in these other regions. It's just China.
But it's like, it's more damage amp too with the Stone Gaze.
Yeah.
Physical damage amplification.
Yeah, with Magnus, I mean, you could eventually build into like an Aghanim. Oh, actually, no, the Aghanim Scepter on Magnus doesn't do that anymore. It just does the stupid shockwave thing. It's so awful.
Exactly.
But in any case, you have like damage amplification for the Medusa's right clicks. She already has the cleave basically, so I mean, I guess you don't really need to benefit from the cleave. Then pairs with the Dazzle as well. Like, you're just doing this AoE minus armor, and the Medusa's just hitting people. Jug's just hitting people. This means Jug's probably going to fight a lot more, but I think that's perfectly fine with the Wraith Band build. Everybody's going Wraith Band. Every single carry. It's 3 Wraith Bands, Treads, Yasha. Every single carry. And then probably like a Mask of Madness. I doubt he'll go for a Battle Fury with a Medusa, but he's definitely... That's the crazy thing right now, is that a lot of these carries, like, they can contribute early into the game and also be a late game carry. Before, it was like you had to make that sacrifice. Okay, we're going to pick a terrible early game hero that will eventually scale into the late game. But it feels like these PAs, these Jugs, these Faceless Voids with the Wraith Bands, you can just contribute early, no matter what.
Well, and we do see the Razor taken now, so sort of an answer for the Medusa in the throughout the game. And also in a way maybe not the Juggernaut. I was going to say the Juggernaut because you can sort of take away the damage that's going to come in from Omnislash, since it's no longer physical nukes. It's all based upon his right click, but he's going to be able to get the Omnislash off before you probably.
I wonder what happens if you. I think if you drain him and then he's Omnislash. I think you keep draining as he's Omnislashing.
Yeah, he does the damage so quickly though.
He
it
does.
Might not matter.
But it won't be as much.
Yeah.
I think we saw Razor yesterday as an answer to the Medusa. It didn't really pan out that well, but that was, once again, I believe that was the Omni Knight game as well.
That was also, to me, teams that were further apart in terms of like degrees of skill. This feels like it's fairly close. I think
that's fair.
I like Royal Never Give Up a lot. It's interesting to see Afu as the drafter. This guy, obviously a position 4 player coming in from Southeast Asia, and made a pretty big impact on his team when he was playing for LGD Forever Young, but wasn't a drafter back then. So
I don't think there's like a lack of captains and drafters in China. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of like the legendary captain drafters and coaches too.
I guess it's like if you want the particular player though, and like if he's not used to it, if it's a young 5 player or whatever, then maybe it doesn't end up going that way. But well, game number 1, Vici versus Royal Never Give Up, and it is a best of 2. Winner is going to put themselves in a better position in the very contested group stage here in the China qualifiers.
It's super contested. Only top 2 go, and there's like 3 or 4 teams in each group that could potentially make top 2.
So this Centaur, with the change, we've been seeing some teams run it. Yesterday it was against a Medusa. Today it's also, but they're going to be sending the Medusa to the mid lane. But we can see, we saw how effective it was just building up those retaliate stacks, going the 1-1-3 build.
Yep. Juggernaut is considered to be a bit of a traditional counter to Centaur, though, just because there's nothing that the Centaur can do to the spin in lane. Centaur doesn't benefit from getting spun on like he benefits from getting auto-attacked with the retaliate building up. So you can just like spin on the Centaur, and it's enough damage to take down his huge HP pool, and Jug's faster than Centaur, so he can keep up with them, and Centaur's only escape really is just to slowly run away from people or to use the hoof stomp, which of course you can't use with the magic immunity. So Jug is very, very strong as this hero, especially with the Shadow Shaman, I believe, is laning with him.
We will find out.
I think Shadow Shaman will probably end up going to the top lane.
Although they do like this Magnus Empower Shadow Shaman stuff. Yeah. So
I think Dazzle will be pretty good too, but
okay.
Shadow Shaman Jug, just the grip and plus spin, so much damage, and you just hold them in place for a few extra auto attacks too.
Well,
Afu just being annoying behind the creep wave, behind the tower.
Paparazzi and DY in position. They're gonna try and pummel him and time walk off.
So annoying.
Walk away. Could have maybe gone on to DY and seen him. Oh, he didn't actually have dive either, so it's all fine though. Looks like Dazzle's gonna head top since they decided to take Ether Shock level 1. So maybe that's part of the reason behind it too.
Yeah, and then like you said, the Dazzle, the Magnus plus Shadow Shaman combos. You just amplify this hero's massive base damage. He's got like the 2nd highest base damage in the game, maybe 3rd next to like Tiny Tree, but you get so much extra damage from that Empower on the Shadow Shaman. Plus the Ether Shock, really, really efficient harass.
The more that I'm looking at this though, if they just stick the Dazzle up here and he's wanting to keep Poison Touch on the Centaur,
it's going to get stacked.
Yeah, it's going to be a similar problem to what we saw yesterday. And this is, well, yeah, Monet can hypothetically spin if he's just punching him.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the difference between the new Centaur and the old Centaur, is that the new Centaur actually does physical damage. And Juggernaut, of course, doesn't really have anything to mitigate that in any way. He's just all about blocking that magical damage.
Well, Sep, realizing that he took the Retaliate level 1, though, hasn't gone back in to punch the Centaur since, really. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
How much damage is the Retaliate at level 1? Like 16?
16.
Okay, so he's with the Stout Shield proc, he's barely doing any damage. Like, he's basically just hitting himself.
Yep, and, well, they're going to spin onto Yang, see if they can get something done, but they have 9, 10 stacks, 11. They're still fine here. And he is going to just heal back up afterwards and be fine and dandy.
This guy went for 9 tango, so he's just got a permanent tango on for the spin. Take a lot less damage. 942, I believe Centaur's like strength gain or base strength got increased, maybe?
Is it 31?
4.0, that just seems really high.
Yeah, it definitely is.
942 HP at this point, it's quite a lot. The spin just tickles him for now.
Ooh. DY though, look out buddy. SRF able to draw first blood. Just able to run him down. Doesn't look like they even had to use shackles for that. Nifty.
Rare that you see a Magnus get first blood, more of like a passive hero. You really have to put yourself out of position to die to him. He doesn't even have skewer, so that was purely right clicks and a couple of shockwaves.
Maybe they did use the shackles and just came off cooldown since then.
Yeah, possibly. There's a lot of harass coming out of these two heroes in the bot lane too, though.
Yeah.
Once he gets Shockwave level 2, which he has now, and then plus the Ether Shock, these heroes actually just so much nuke harass between them.
Oh, Arcane Rune Afu.
Oh my god, speaking of harass.
I mean, this is now what? It's going to be 95 damage, or 9.8. 66 mana, 140 damage. You have to just run away. I don't think you can stay here really like that. I guess that Paparazzi's going to be able to. But yeah, he can just time walk.
Cooldown on that. 22 seconds. He can do it again.
Yeah. That's actually disgusting.
It's a pretty convenient rune to get.
I really like this Shadow Shaman ward thing. I think it's probably going to get changed in the next patch maybe. Like, it feels like he has too high of a mana pool to just be able to do this.
which ward?
Just Ether Shock over
Oh,
and over again.
Oh yeah, the Ether Shock. Yeah, it's kind of always been like a lot of damage, but we saw it like come in and out of the meta just briefly. But I think Shackles was just so strong at level 1 in the past that people would just not experiment with the Ether Shock. But now that we've seen these lanes, you know, Sky Rats and stuff just running and trying to get as much damage as they can, suiciding, like, makes a lot of sense to play Shadow Shaman this way, just with how the meta has shaped up. I think it probably would have been really strong to go for that before, too.
Just a measure of what's stronger. But yeah, Yang up here top so far, 19-7 versus...
Helps that he has like 90 base damage, too.
21 and 3 of the Jug. And oh, looks like Afu now picks up a DD rune. He's just getting all the good runes. This guy. That's how you be a top-tier player.
Oh,
Look
my
at the
God.
punch. Yeah, he has to just time walk it off. He can't come to that lane. All right.
Are there any better runes that this hero could get?
I don't think so.
They were both bot too, like Arcane Rune. We talked about the Ether Shock, and now and then I mentioned the base damage. We looked down bot. He's got a double.
Oh my God! He's just gonna kill him. Maybe, possibly.
One more hit.
One more punch from downtown, baby.
That was actually enough. This hero, he's just hitting for 200.
They kill off the Medusa in the mid lane though.
Is that a solo kill?
Yeah.
He just got leveled 3.
Oh, it doesn't say it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And he gets the solo kill experience as well from here. So
this just seems to be how this Medusa hero plays in the early game. You just like lose the lane, but then go jungling.
I mean, this is a pretty bad losing the lane though. Solo kill 10 and 7.
It is, but it's, you know, we saw with the sniper, he was kind of getting dumpstered by the sniper too when jungled was like the top net worth. I do think this hero, just with the Wraith Band changes and the way that her support trauma has been changed to just be a passive now, like she can actually farm very, very quickly. She loves the fact that there are so many tri-camps to farm around now as well. She can just farm so many camps at once. But yeah, she's getting dumpstered.
And like Ori is level 6.5 right now, and Setsu is not level 5. That's
no boots against a Razor, man. I don't know if you go for like this triple Wraith Band rush if you're against a Razor. He just loves the fact that you're. Does Razor have boots? I assume he does.
Yeah. And
yeah, that's a big mistake, I think.
The trade-off here is that like what you're getting a good lane for Monet sort of, but he's not even really like dominating his lane necessarily.
No, like, Centaur's happy up here. He has 11 denies on Centaurs.
I mean, sorry, Yang. Yang is getting the... Oh, no. He is dominating the lane, but Centaur's having a good time, too.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think Centaur's doing... Like, Centaur's 11 denies. So
yeah.
There's a lot of denied experience. Extra bonus skill that he's getting.
Well, Paparazzi looking for a bash here onto Afu, the one who has caused so much trouble, and they are going to backing out again. They have Shackles available if they want to use it. Seb shows up also. Paparazzi used the time jump forward. They're going to be able to possibly find this kill. Nowhere left to go.
He just used the spell and can't get away. Like, he used that to initiate, man. That's your escape.
Phoenix has no items.
literally. Yeah. Is a TP scroll.
I mean,
rich.
that's the only thing going well for them is they're about to lose Setsu in the mid lane, although Afu trying to save his carry's life. This might be enough. You can't really punch him, and yes, he does. Afu makes it happen.
There's 3 of them splitting that experience, though, so it's not.
No, Afu's the carry now.
That's true. That is true. I mean, he's right-clicking like a carry. He's running around empowered, so if that doesn't scream carry, I don't know what does. The minus armor coming from the Dazzle with the Serpent Wards actually is gonna do a lot of damage in the mid to late game. Just realizing like they could run around as supports and actually like if he wants to carry this game on the Shadow Shaman, it's actually a really good game for it.
Oh, you ready for this? All right, does anybody mess it up though?
Ooh, that is teamwork.
Oh no! What is this?
No!
That's the most important one.
They didn't get 2 of them. They only got that camp.
Oh my God! Setsu is reporting
reported.
all of these heroes.
Dude, where's the tips at? Right, come on. Let's go.
Gotta work on those stacked timings on the new map.
Yeah. It was awkward when they're like running into each other. It's like, hey, I was stacking that. Come on. Oh, I was stacking that. Dazzle just taking the mid lane. Medusa just farming up the jungle. That's definitely the play.
Yeah. They're gonna be happy with that.
This is like a nice little thing you can do when you're losing a lane. You'll see like lesser teams just sitting a hero in a lane, just continue losing the lane, and then you have a support that's under leveled because they're
Radiant's
you know,
top
in some other
tower
lane
is under
sharing
attack.
experience with somebody, and then you have this hero who's not getting farm anyway in the lane. So it's just great to get a little bit of levels on your support and let your carry catch up the jungle. Mid laner in this case.
They get the D ward there right as the ward was expiring, and Fade maybe
Dire's
anticipating
middle
that
tower
the Dazzle
is
would
under
place another
attack.
ward of his own, but he had not. And they will hit a
Dire
scan
are
there for a
scanning.
moment, just seeing that Ori is passing through this direction, and the pings as he heads up towards the north side. But yeah, kind of slow game. It looks like Monet also used Omni Slash, but I don't believe that he got a kill for that one. Still sitting at 0-0-0.
I wonder if the Omni hits give the Centaur retaliate procs. Probably.
Yeah, it
No.
seems likely.
Dire's top
Ooh,
tower
SRF
is
almost
under
has level
attack.
6 here. They're looking for maybe an RP play
Radiant
onto
structures
Paparazzi
are
if they want to
fortified.
bait him into
Those
this.
bashes, man.
It's scary. You'd love to be able to make this move and get a kill.
Oh, he's so close.
Look at this. How much experience away is he? He's 1 experience away.
Tower is under
One.
attack.
Oh god.
I mean, and they know now that
Dire's
Jug has left.
structures
Like,
are fortified.
that's why the Void is playing so far back now. Paparazzi. High IQ guy right here. Alright, he's got level 6. Does he just go for it?
Dire's top tower
Omni
has
Slash
fallen.
is down. I don't think they get this kill on a Paparazzi.
Invisibility.
I mean,
With
they're
the shaman they do, I think.
it's hard though.
They can grip him.
Ooh,
Ooh, now he knows.
that gives the game away.
Now he knows, yeah. And like you said, with the Jug leaving top, if they get that tower for free, it's like, where's the Jug?
Yeah.
He's not jungling, let me tell you. He's going for a kill.
Well, 10-minute mark right now. Radiant kind of leading the way across all of the lanes. But as you said, Medusa playing a little bit of catch up over here, heading back mid, and seems like she's having a better time of it so far. As she's only, what, about 1,000 gold behind the Razor? I think that's
Not that-
acceptable.
That's not that bad, yeah. Especially considering they just got a tower top. Did he? I think the Razor probably got the last hit too.
We can check. Where's it say it? Yeah,
the
Yang
Centaur-
did.
the Centaur got the
is
last
under
hit.
attack.
What's he sitting?
Dire's
Oh, he is
structures
far.
are
He's a
fortified.
big boy.
1900 HP on a level 7 Centaur. It's 11
Yeah.
minutes into this game.
Radiant's middle tower
That
is
guy
under
has
attack.
got a lot of items.
How do you even kill him right now? You need
Dire's
everything.
top tower is
They're
under
kind of
it's
bringing
Serpent
everybody.
Wards
They
ain't
have
easy.
Serpent Wards. They're able to catch Yang. He wanted to stampede away, but he's going to be caught. They pull him back in with the RP, and they're able to run him down. SRF makes it happen.
That's the problem with Apu having such a good game, is that it's like, how do you kill this Centaur? Oh, the Shaman's level 6
Tower has been denied.
with Serpent Wards and minus armor.
Afu's been the man this game. He's
He
almost
really
got an
has.
Aether Lens.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah,
is under
500 more
attack.
gold, 300 more gold. Yeah, he's going to be really scary because he can actually solo kill the Razor or the Faceless Void this game if he gets enough levels. Like with a +1, he can absolutely kill these heroes.
Yeah.
All he needs to do is get on top of them, and with the Aether Lens, it's very, very easy to cast those spells and ward trap these heroes.
I was almost wondering if you wanted to go for like an earlier blink or something, but I guess it's a lot of gold away still before he can get there.
Yeah. The great thing about the Aether Lens is it kind of gives you this possibility to initiate like the blink does, but it also lets you in these fights be the slow. Oh my god, that new Razor slow.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that.
I mean, he was kind of in no man's land. He either goes forward and,
Dire's
gets it
middle
or he
tower
dies.
is under
I think
attack.
he could probably, I don't know, he could go for it and get away, or just run away and not try to go for it. But like the indecision is what hurt him. I think he wasn't expecting this new Razor slow.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Wow. 12 minutes. They have a kind of decently sized stack here, and it looks like Vici wanting to come and invade. It's not that big, but it's a little some.
Something.
They
Save
farm
that-
out the Tri-Camp
Save
here
that for
also.
Jug. Or even Medusa too, actually.
Yeah.
I like that anytime they're running through this jungle, they're getting stacks up.
Yeah.
That's definitely the play. Like just the way the new jungles are, where you have all of these camps that you can farm together. Makes it so much more effective to stack up. You can just take 2 stacks in the same time that it would take you to take 1 stack, and then also it literally gives you like 5% more gold now. So it's a very literal just increase in the amount of gold you get for doing that. And then your jungle's so secure because of these high grounds. Like, what are you going to contest somebody who's farming stacks when you don't have vision, walk up to a high ground? Like, it's just insanity. Although that's dire vision.
Yeah, they have everything right here, actually. They're making sure there's no vision in
Which is
this
why they're
area.
looking to fight.
This would be a big kill onto
man,
DY. They
Phoenix.
spot him through the trees. Oh!
Man, he was playing some nice woodsman Dota right there.
That was well done. But they will get the D ward, and Monet is going to clear out this little stack of Ancients, and well, no harm, no foul. Also nice to get the little bad juju onto the Ancients there.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
real
hell,
cool.
we've even seen Dazzle
Dire's
in
bottom
some of these
tower
games
is under
solo
attack.
farming ancient stacks
Right.
as a support Dazzle.
It's crazy. Before Necro.
Yep, yep. Like support Dazzles without even going for it.
Oh, it's sort of been a little bit of a
Radiant
different
are
look in
scanning.
China as far as the Dota that we've been seeing. Void going for this Battle Fury. Definitely feels like it's going to slow down the state of the game. As we, again, have a wraparounds coming from RNG. Afu trying to find Yang. They get the blink
nice
immediately interrupted, but they still will get the Stampede back, and they end up finding that RP. Pulling back yet another into Omnislash in the Ward Trap. Beautiful Dota coming from RNG. Afu will get stunned there. They want to find that kill, but the Grave is out already. And RNG with Afu just going to TP out of there.
Oh boy, the new Jug Omni Slash with Magnus is just insanely powerful. Does he have a double damage too on Jug? Is that what I saw?
I wasn't sure about you.
Okay, that's how he did so much damage
Yeah.
there. All right, the Ward Trap was really nice, just blocking up the high ground with the Magnus Shockwave. Like it actually pushed two people into the Ward Trap.
Well, and I think that didn't also, like, they RP as Void was going for the Chrono?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was unfortunate timing at first for the Mag when he got instantly lifted by the Rubik, which was a beautiful play, and now he has the Ether Lens, so that's a lot easier to do for him.
Yeah.
But the nice, like, intuition to just skewer the Centaur out, it's like, okay, this initiation screwed up, I'm just going to play this as if it's like a skewer initiation, and then boom, he realizes that the Void's right on top of him, he just goes for the RP just to get the kill. And yeah, that was just a nice little turn of events. Pretty lucky that the Void just jumps into that, because that was gonna be a huge chrono for sure.
Which my matriarch will prize.
You would have gotten the Dazzle and the Shadow Shaman too before
Yeah.
wards if he didn't RP that, but he was just RPing the Centaur.
Well, even if he gets them with wards, it's on top of the Chronos. They're not doing anything.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they stop in chrono now, right?
Yeah. So Vici are going to make a move into the jungle, don't find anybody, and it's this time where, Yang, he dominates his lane, gets into some early tanky items, a couple of
Radiant
misplays or
structures
sort
are
of just
fortified.
unfortunate positioning, and suddenly he's 0-2, even though he's got this Crimson Guard and feels super tanky.
I think this is one of the big reasons that we see a lot of people rushing a Blink
Dire's
first on
middle
Centaur,
tower
just because
is under attack.
in this game somebody needs to be
Radiant's
the
bottom
Blink
tower
initiator.
is
Like
under
you need to have
attack.
some reason that the enemy team is afraid to farm. You need to have some reason that they're afraid to push lanes out, and that a fight could start at any moment. But really, there's nothing on the side of Vici for that other than, I mean, Chronosphere is like a pretty pathetic excuse for a spell like that, because he needs to play around the fog at this point. It's a carry Faceless Void. He has no Shadow
Oh.
Blade, nothing like that.
We didn't mention this, but Rubik did steal RP.
He did steal it, yeah. He didn't end up getting to use it,
No.
but maybe looking to use it now. He's got it for very little time left, so.
No.
I really like when Rubiks don't immediately use spells in fights. Like, a lot of Rubiks get overexcited and then they just use the spell and they just use it really shittily and then they die. It's like, well, you could have used that somewhere else. So hopefully we'll see him set up a pretty nice RP.
Oh, just outside of range there.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. That's a really good ward, actually, from Radiant.
Yeah.
Super, super deep. The nice thing about placing these deep wards is that, like, the way that the map works is each side is like a triangle, right? So and everybody goes back to their base. So if you place a deep ward, you're actually kind of getting like more vision on the map, or more information on the map, because you get an idea of like where the enemy team is, and since it's closer to that like peak of the triangle, which is their base, where they're always going to be coming from, you could see the direction that people are moving. So you actually get a lot more information for these really deep wards.
Yo, and look at this. The smoke as the RP expires from the Rubik. They want to fight now. They have wards available to them. They're going to run into the Phoenix. DY gets skewered back in. SRF has him killed. RNG get a key pick off at the start of this.
Although this fight that they're taking is not around any objective. It's just, they're just killing for kills. They're not going to get this tier 2. Phoenix will be alive for that, and there's no tier 1 down here, right? Unless yeah, no tier 1. So that's literally just a kill for a kill. I don't think you care that much if you're Vici, but then again, if you're RNG, you're also fairly confident going into the late game. You have Medusa, who's one of the best late game heroes, and then you also have the Jug Omni-slash combo with the Magnus in power, which we saw how much damage that did.
Looks like they're going to push for the tier 2 bottom, and Ori is not there at all.
I think you set up to fight this if you're Vici.
Ori's not there. He doesn't have a TP. He can't be there.
That's a bit of a blunder, man, because you don't just lose this tower when...
Oh, and SRF, he's standing in position to get the RP onto 2. Beautiful interruption, but they're able to steal it back the other direction. The Omni-slash pulling everybody together. Can they kill off the Phoenix in time? Doesn't look like it, but they did take down, or rather, excuse me, the Centaur. They took down the Phoenix.
Oh,
and
man.
they get the tier 2.
Ori not having a TP or being anywhere in the area is really, really rough. I think the... Well, number one, you should definitely have a TP because there's slots for it.
I think he just TP'd top,
yeah,
that's why.
He didn't have gold for it or something.
Yeah.
In any case, like, I think you just probably run there after you see the Phoenix pick off, because it's like, well, they're not gonna be able to get this tower, right? Like, we just set up to defend this, and maybe you can have some other hero split pushing that does have a TP. He doesn't need to be doing much up. That's a nice chrono.
Well played. SRF, though, able to pull back in Ori. That just means he's closer to the Jug to get the kill, but they have the Grave, and that means Fade's RP is going to be wasted. They're also controlling this Faceless Void. He is eventually going to fall as they weren't able to get the TP out. The Paparazzi also maybe in a little bit of trouble. Bad Juju starting to stack up with 3 stacks of it, but they aren't going to be able to do it any further. So Setsu turns to fight with the Stone Gaze, and just like that, they're going to walk away. Rubik, having stolen Graze, keeps alive that Faceless Void yet again, and now they have the Supernova on top of everything else. Setsu wants to take it down. They pull him in. SRF finds the skewer and takes down the egg, and Medusa gonna live, but so too is Yang. Setsu kills off another. That's a double for her as Afu gonna be able to find the blink forward, buys back, and gets on top of the Razor. Ori possibly gonna go down here. No, with the slow, they're gonna be able to get him out.
Good lord, that Faceless Void had something like 9 HP or something like that left in that fight. And he was shackled by the Shadow Shaman, and then the Rubik, I believe, stole Hex and used the Hex on the Shadow Shaman, like protecting him at... Like that was so close for Vici just to be like a completely terrible fight, but the plays from the Rubik, super beautiful, and that egg right on top of everybody. Even though it ended up dying, it still allowed for, like, it forces the Medusa to hit the egg. It still separates the fight, you know. Let the Razor sit there and drain a... I think he drained like at least 100 damage from the Medusa.
It was, I think, 150 something. It was nuts.
Yeah, but then the buyback from Afu, just making sure that they get something from that huge overcommitment from Vici.
Yeah.
Once again, though, like fighting around no towers.
Well, and at the end of the day, you do have this Medusa that's still getting fairly farmed for Setsu and has the damage amplification coming in from Empower. And like all these Wraith Bands, that's that much more valuable.
Yeah, exactly like we were talking about in the laning phase. Like, she gets dumpstered in the lane, and she's now the most farmed hero on the map. Like, this hero just absolutely adores the fact that there's so much jungle for her to farm safely now. You just chill, you go late game, and then you have Medusa in the late game. She's just an unkillable tower that can move.
Well, Paparazzi and the rest of Vici Gaming making a move now with Chrono available. They only have the Battle Fury on Jug, but they have a lot of damage through the rest of their pieces, and of course the Phoenix Egg on top of everything else, and the movement in. RNG, they break the smoke onto Setsu. Now they reveal the rest of RNG. SRF
focus, though, yeah.
Still has the blink. They pull back in one. The Stampede is going to be there and a little bit late with the shackles and stealing wards too. Man, Fade on top of it.
God, these steals are beautiful. He's doing so much in these fights. This is the sort of Rubik player you want on your team in this meta. Some guy that's just going to do like super high skill stuff that shouldn't happen, but with the farm that he has in the Aether Lens, it's actually relatively easy for him to steal these spells. If he didn't have that item, it would be a lot harder.
In a way, it's almost more on Yang, the fact that that happens, because otherwise, if he doesn't get the Stampede off and then get away from that Shaman, then, you know, he gets shackled, and then you're stealing shackles instead of wards.
It's like the legendary Light of Heaven clip where the Ravage, Dandy steals Ravage, but it's really because the Enigma Black Hole canceled the Anchor Smash coming from the Tide. So he gets the Ravage. It's like the Tide was doing what he could, you know. Rubik wasn't going to steal it, but then Light of Heaven with the Black Hole.
Busting out the big words here, man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Legendary Dota, man.
They are trying to take this, but also being set up. Fade dropping the wards in the pit. how do they take this fight? RP is available. They're moving in with Paparazzi. There's the hoof stomp. Full vision onto this Medusa, draining her as well. RP only onto one. Stolen RP as well. There's the chrono down on top of it. Paparazzi trying to do what he can. There's 3 caught here. The RP follow-up onto 2. Fade, making his team proud as they've already killed off the Magnus. Monet decides, I don't want to be here anymore, but Yang is going to be able to find the Dazzle as well. 3 dead. Roche is theirs. Fade Dota.
All right, Fade's like 1v5ing this game, man. I don't know how he's doing it. Every fight, RP, Serpent Awards, even the Stolen Hex, just like interrupting the Shadow Shaman, like saving the Void. All of these little plays and these huge plays, he's doing absolutely everything in this game.
And I mean, part of it too is that it's like they have so many other heroes that are targets you want to go on, or in the case of Yang, targets that can go out there and be this sort of like leading force, right? And then when they cast their spells on him, he's just ready to jump in. It's the draft too.
Yeah, it's a very good draft. It feels bad, but like, you actually want to focus this Rubik at the start of fights. It's just strange to have like Phoenix, Void. Probably don't want to focus Centaur or Razor, but when there's Phoenix, Void on the enemy team and you just have to focus the Rubik, it does feel really, really bad, but I mean, it's literally just because this guy is like playing so well. It has nothing to do with the hero. A lot of the time you do want to focus him just because he's squishy, but it's like if you don't focus him, it's not that big of a deal. But in this game, if you don't focus him, he's just gonna steal your big team fight ultimates. Use them better than you're using them.
And they already have really good team fight on their team, so
yeah,
tough stuff.
Really good setup even without the Blink Dagger for the stolen RP, and now he has the Blink. So I imagine we're going to see some stylish stuff coming out from this Rubik with this Blink Dagger, Ether Lens.
Yeah, the positioning that he's had has always been very defensive. So when he's stealing these other spells, it's either A, holding the RP for later fights, or B, hexing from afar. Now he can get in there with maybe a RP or a skewer or whatever.
Yep. And then you have the extended blink range too from the Ether Lens. So it's just
Radiant structures
really nice item to have.
And he's got Blink RP for the next couple of minutes.
Oh my god.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, this could be dirty.
How long is this here for? I don't know.
It's the level 1 spell steal. Oh, actually, just going for 1 point in the spell steal.
Yeah. So, what is that?
What do now? I
Duration 180. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I guess you.
Top tower
What's
is
the extended duration on the spell steal with the?
So I don't know if it shows it. Just shows the damage amp.
God, he's got a better RP than Magnus has.
So the debuff amplification means 44% longer. Is that right? So
we'll just round it up to 50%.
He doesn't have it for that much longer. He's gonna RP this guy. Oh, Afu! The shackles, the blink away, trying to live. Fade. He got outplayed.
Wow. Gets the tower, gets the escape. God damn.
Well,
these supports, man.
They're doing it.
You don't usually see supports in like this much control of what's happening in the game. I mean, not at this point. Not at like 20+ minutes into the game, but like Shadow Shaman solo pushing the tower. That was a solo push. Frees up so much of the map. That's like the Roche tower too.
Well, they're gonna take their pound of flesh as they take down Afu. And now
that was vindictive of them. This guy took our tower.
They have full vision right here of Yang, though. They could turn this back around. SRF looking for an opening if he's able to spot them as they head all in. Up on the high ground, the egg way up in the sky. Now they're looking for more as well, but the Omni Slash is already out and then gone. No, Monet just still beating into him. Now the Omni Slash comes out. Setsu's still living. The Sunray keeping Yang alive, and they're going to have to back out again. Ori's stealing damage, but not quite enough. The RP pulls him back in yet again, but Monet not dealing enough damage, and all this damage is stolen from the Medusa. She is going to fall. Stolen Stone Gaze. Oh, wow. No buyback on Medusa. This is looking rough.
That Rubik lift duration felt like it was just lasting forever. He pulled the Medusa back into the egg, but like honestly, with the first part of the lift, which is like the stun duration, the egg was almost like it almost blew up anyway, you know? So it's like it's not even about the lift back. It's just the fact that this with the extended stun duration coming out from the null field, you can actually just lift the Medusa into the egg and use it as a combo.
And they get the Stone Gaze out now from the Rubik. Got him caught there, pulled him back in, stolen skewer now. The RP just drops, or excuse me, the Chrono drops solo onto that Magnus. Monet wants to make something happen here if possible. Fade does have the blink skewer if he wants to do it, but it looks like they're just going to focus on taking down these buildings. The Phoenix falls, but it's still 20 seconds until the next hero respawns from Royal Never Give Up.
Dazzle or Magnus dropped a gem in base, but unfortunately for them, nobody on the Radiant picked it up.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. And like even the like egg that lands on the high ground.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was nuts.
That was so nice. They did have vision on it. It's like just a Medusa that can hit it.
You can miss uphill on it, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I think so. Just like the tombstone. It's not like wards where you can't uphill miss. That was a specific, you know, special case. Yeah, that was super nice. Like even if they turned to hit it, they knew that they couldn't, so they just ditched the Medusa. You can't do that. You know, you can't ditch your Medusa. But what else do you do when there's a fight that's set up like that? Do you fight into the egg and just die?
And the whole time, Razor is stealing 200 like damage, 280 damage.
Yeah. He was doing enough damage. Like the Void actually didn't need to do any damage. Rubik Phoenix, they just lock the Medusa down, and the Razor just takes her out with the damage. Speaking of damage, though, now he can do some serious damage.
Yeah, he can. That's for sure. I was wondering if he was going to go to Fusel Blade, but just preemptively answering the butterfly that Medusa has purchased.
Yeah, that's good. Also, magic damage coming from the Monkey King bar. When it procs, it's magic damage, not physical, so that's something that's nice against these really high armor heroes. Jug, Medusa, and Magnus, even with the armor talent, and Dazzle, a lot of the time builds into these armor items, so you have lots of armor, and the Monkey King bar just don't care about it, you know.
Get Yang here, just ready to cut some waves, or do whatever he wants to do. I don't know why he's hanging out over here, actually.
He's just tree sitting, man. I'm telling you, the best thing to do in Dota is just nothing at all. He's hitting trees, eventually enemy team shows up, and they don't think you're there, because, like, who would be sitting in the trees for this long? There's no reason to be there.
Yeah.
And then he just eventually leaves. Tree sitting Zimba, dude. 10 out of 10, Dota.
It's very good viewer experience, too.
It is.
I like it.
It is, yeah. Woodsman Simulator.
This Void is more farmed than the freaking Dusa. This is paparazzi.
Yeah, that Battle Fury. This used to be a pretty common thing on Void, going for the Battle Fury, and he actually farms very, very quickly. Similar to the Anti-Mage, just has a really good BAT, nice Agi scaling, and then also has a way to get between the camps with his Q. You can farm very, very quickly.
Well, September, the one who is out front, need to be careful about their positioning here, but SRF in the Shadow Blade. They're walking into each other. This could be a big opening, but Vici, they break their smoke. They realize what's going on. Need to be careful. The Supernova's already down, and this fight could be over before it even begins unless they kill off the egg. Okay, Monet, not bad there as well, as they're going to be able to steal Battle Fury and try and turn around for more. Paparazzi, there's going to be the RP, is also going to be able to get this with the Stone Gaze, keeping him away. He's already used this Chronosphere. Do they have anything else? There's RNG going to be able to take this fight, but they focus down Afu, and now with only this Dusa left, with SRF already being zoned out of the fight, looks like it might be all too much. Ori gets pulled back in a little bit closer. The bash is coming. He's got him controlled, but the wards are just doing so much damage. The slow damage over time. They steal Grave from Fade. That keeps Yang alive for the moment. Setsu walking forward, takes him down as well. And Monet finally able to walk away. 4 live? Oh.
Well.
I want to see how much damage this Shaman did.
13,000 damage. The Dire did.
Yeah.
2,200 damage. Is that damage over time? Medusa was putting out a lot of damage.
Yeah, that must have been the main source of it.
It's just, I mean, that's the issue when you take a fight on a shrine around Shaman's Serpent Wards and then a Medusa. The only reason she did 7,000 damage there is because she had so much time to do that damage, given the fact that they just have that shrine regen. They have the Dazzle, who is, you know, graving people, keeping people alive.
He cast 7 spells in that fight, so that's what? You're giving 2.25, so that's like minus 15 armor-ish or something like that?
I would say Dazzle's probably the main reason that fight was good for RNG. Maybe you just don't fight any of these long fights against Dazzle with the new bad juju and how it works. He's probably the only reason the Medusa did that much damage.
Right. All those stacks built up is really hard to deal with.
Yeah, and they were all like hooked up too. So. Oh, Centaur ult.
Are they really? Okay.
Oh, they got a 2-man stun on the Dazzle.
Not bad. Dazzle's okay. There's the chrono. The lift comes out onto Dusa. Follow up as well, and the shackles trying to keep some people alive here. But Setsu already dead. It looks like, as they are going to be able to run her down. Does have buyback. And
so many buybacks in the last fight. That, God, if Roche were up, what's the response?
7 seconds.
7 seconds. Okay.
It's a short one.
Fade's chilling in there. He's just hoping. Come on, you guys all bought back. You got to be punished for that.
And it will spawn. Very short respawn time.
Right there. I feel like the Sanjin Yasha is getting picked up even more because it's yellow now.
Yeah.
People are loving that change.
Maybe we just notice it more.
That's a good point. Confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Jug just trying to do what he can to push the bot lane, so that way when this rush is over, at the very least, the Radiant doesn't have to respond to this bot lane creeps. Yeah, just spins TPs out. So that's something at least. It's like a siege creep that's going to push into their tower. Although they're clearing this wave so quickly because the mega creeps. So they're just going to head top.
Dire's top tower
Paparazzi.
is under attack.
They have Medusa back up in 20 seconds. They really don't want to have to buy back here, and thankfully do have a glyph, but this is where the game becomes so tense. You've got RP available if you want to try and take this fight. Monet can jump in with the Omni Slash as well, but it's really dangerous. 10 seconds away still. They get the spin off. Good play there by Monet. The Hex to follow it, chasing it down. Paparazzi has Chrono if they want to use it. The bad Jujo going to start to build up as they pull back in one more. There's going to be the Paparazzi on top of September. He doesn't have Chronosphere yet, but he doesn't need it. No buyback from Dazzle means they won't have him in the rest of this fight, but they do have the Stone Gaze. Now trying to take them down lower as well. That's going to be a dead Razor, and they have Chrono back up in 7 seconds, but I think it's all for now. He just walks into the shackles, lasting forever and dead. Hex is going to be here for a follow-up, and he'll have shackles afterwards. Paparazzi, oh! He pops the Manta, jumps away. Chrono does a hit onto one, but I'm not sure if that's enough. And the long-duration shackles. Paparazzi want to do everything, but he gets nothing. Ultra kill for Dusa.
The hell? Once again, these really long fights just hugely favor RNG. I mean, it costs buybacks, but...
Lucky find.
Did they buy back anybody?
It didn't
actually?
buy back.
They didn't buy back anybody. That was just a really long fight.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Completely overcommitting. When you have Chronosphere, when you have Phoenix Egg, and when you expend the Centaur ulti too, you just need to get the hell out when you have nothing left.
Yeah, what do you think about Deso Dusa? How terrible is it?
That's not, I mean, it's one of the most efficient damage items in Dota right now. I guess you can just spend the money like with that much. She's got so much money, she can spend it on something else.
Just feeling like this minus armor is so effective in these fights. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm surprised that fight actually went well for RNG, just because they RP'd the Centaur, which is exactly who you want to be RP'd on your team. If you have to choose, it's the Centaur.
Yeah.
Like, oh, please, RP my Centaur, RP my Razor. We don't care. But just... Maybe Vici just saw that and they overcommitted because they're like, well, this guy has no RP, so we can win this fight. But absolutely not. You're losing right now.
Tough stuff, and for the first time in a while, 2,000 gold lead.
For the first time in a while, we also have a tip coming out.
That's the right person to tip. Looking for the skewer back. Not quite there. SRF. Uh-oh, don't get tipped yourself now, buddy. It's not what you want to have happen in Yang. Down to very low HP, but looks like they'll be able to get out.
God, he almost pulled an XXS, man.
Oh, yeah.
Last time we saw that skewer out of base for no reason, it was a bit of a throw.
Particularly when they have the Rubik lift. Like,
yes.
That interrupting is pretty
very, very good against the Magnus. For that reason, you know, there's the stolen RP, but then also, of course, you can just lift as soon as he blinks in.
Well, Dazzle going for the Blink Dagger next, it looks like, and do have one on Afu, obviously. Monet really hasn't transitioned into that many huge items right now. Like Abyssal, Shadowblade, Sanjin Yasha. I guess he's still pretty big relative to everybody else, and he's got the Empower, so that makes the difference.
Yeah, he's happy with the Empower. Just needs to like utility items. I think both of these teams need to start looking for the backlines. Like the reason the tip came out on the Dazzle, I know we're joking about it, but it's like these players are clearly understanding what the Dazzle's role is in these fights. Not only does he provide the Grave, which used to be a reason that you would want to focus him, now he's got this bad Juju that's making you take 200 times or 200% more damage.
And look at the AoE.
It's just massive. It's like you have to kill this hero first. You have to kill the Shaman, you have to kill the Dazzle, and then on the flip side, you have to kill the Rubik, you have to kill the Phoenix. There can't be any more of this like frontline focusing bullshit. Somebody needs to run in. Yeah, perfect. Good.
All right, they've got Medusa the immediate Hex in response though to the Shadow Shaman. They got him controlled Setsu. That was from the Lotus Orb coming out and still living through it. The long duration sun, but the Stone Gaze catch onto all. The RP onto 3 Setsu. He's living, but the Chronosphere to answer him. Paparazzi saving the day. Isn't going to be enough though. Afu is still living here, and they're going to buy back on the Medusa. Try to chase down for more. The Ami Slash not killing off enough, and there's the Cheese Pop. Ori able to walk away as Monet wants to run him down, but these heroes, they don't have buyback. They might end up falling. Paparazzi holds the high ground, but they're heading for theirs.
Yeah, the heroes that survived, very important. Juggernaut, Medusa, Dazzle, like these three can absolutely fight. Void without the Chronosphere can't fight. Razor can't really fight without some hero backing him up, giving him some disable. RNG is much stronger with these 3 heroes alive.
I think the buyback though, how scary is that?
Yeah, but you can. What's a Roche timer? Maybe they can take Roche.
No, it's 3 minutes away.
They look for it, but yeah, it's not up. It may respawn in 3 minutes actually. So
yeah,
does Jug have a DD? Do I see that right? Is he another DD? Oh, no, it's Clarity.
I thought that they might be able to go down, but I guess it's too worrisome with the Faceless Void going to have Chrono back up again.
Yeah, and then the Phoenix will be alive for that Chronosphere too. So.
Oh my gosh, she going for Kaya? Sanjit? Yasha Kaya.
Okay, all right. Does it work with the Spell Shield?
Does it work with Split Shot?
That's a good question.
Outgoing damage 75%.
It is a spell. I mean, does it increase the damage amplification on the ultimate as well? Does it work with all these abilities?
I don't think it increases damage. I remember for a while that they changed it so that Spell Amp didn't work with Glaives.
Okay.
And it probably doesn't work with Split Shot still also. So
that's definitely something we could test in the lobby.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it doesn't anymore. I think that was the change that they made.
I think that's probably true.
Because like adding Yasha Kaya to the game would be the obvious thing you'd think about with like her and Luna.
Ooh, double damage on Jug. This is absolutely a.
But the mana loss reduction, that does work with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That makes sense.
God, her effective HP is going to be nuts, although she only has 1,300 HP. Monet caught. Paparazzi backline. He's going to catch them all, but they're graving for the moment, keeping Juggernaut alive. So not many people are taking damage with the exception of the Jug, and he can't get the Omni Slash off. And now RNG need to back out. September chased into the pit. They do lose Afu, and they buy back on the Jug. Are they really trying to take this fight right now? September, he can try and TP away the RP. It's not really doing all that much at all. Can they kill up any of these heroes? The RP comes out afterwards, and, well, that one is looking like it's going to be about all she wrote as the Medusa dies. Monet's going to be stomped.
Just lost, yeah.
That is all.
Oh, man. Boy, I really do think that a large part of why these fights have been so hectic is just the target priority.
Look at that graph. This is win probability. Like, after the one fight, it looks amazing. Suddenly, Vici just won the game.
That was a mountain of win probability. Many mountains. Oh boy.
Production, can we just get the graph real quickly of the XP and net worth here as well? Because there's a lot of things going on right here throughout the past couple of minutes.
What's with all the, like, a lot of these games just seem to be just dependent entirely, like team fight by team fight.
This is a 5-minute period right here, just this area.
That's 5 minutes?
This is 5 minutes.
Good God. How could there be so many throws in 5 minutes?
Well, it's a tough one. So takeaways from this. Medusa, what's your thought?
We saw she had, what, 1,300 HP with all of those items. Like, it really seems like until she gets like a Scotty and the mana talent, she's actually killable. I was saying with the target priority in the fights, like Medusa needs to walk in, which will allow the Magnus to get the backline RPs as opposed to just like RPing a Centaur, which normally you don't care if your Centaur Medusa gets RP'd.
Right.
But, I mean, Medusa was actually just so squishy that they could just, like, go on the Medusa with, like, the Centaur and kill her. Like, it wasn't a bait.
Yeah.
She would just die. Especially with the Chronosphere, too. You just chrono the Medusa plus, like, the backline and kill the Medusa.
Well, and it makes you realize, like, the one team fight where they, like, you know, quote-unquote won it, but the Medusa had to buy back for it, like normally that'd be the moment like, okay, we can go and we can get buybacks out of the other team, but they lost, you know, the save heroes on their side, and then all of a sudden you can't make that happen. So it's like, do you actually win these fights? And tough stuff for Royal Never Give Up. But exciting match, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. I like that. I like that a lot of these games are heavily dependent on just who plays the fights better. I think that is super fun in Dota. I thought all of the mana break abilities were boring and awful, and anything that prevents you from using spells. I love seeing people like try to like orchestrate their way around a team fight and try to figure out how to like win that fight. I think it's really cool because it's like the most complicated, intense part of Dota. So it's I like it.
Easy peasy. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, Team Fight wins against Minus Armor this time. We'll see if we're going to have a rematch next time around, but the draft will be back in a few. Stay tuned. More from the China Qualifiers right after this.